Hey, everybody, it's Kate Richburg, and welcome to Saturday's edition of the Great Bead Extravaganza. I'm Kate Richburg, and we are going to have some good times today. How did you like that countdown? It was pretty good, right? I thought it was kind of a fun, I don't know, kind of a fun new countdown that I used just for this Saturday. It was kind of good. Everybody's jumping on, saying hello. Great job so far to all of the presenters, Candy and her team. Great job. Hope you feel better, you guys, or hope Candy, you feel better soon. Great job to Andrew and William. They did an amazing job this morning. I loved those pendants that they were showing. And we've got a whole great big lineup today and tomorrow. So a couple of things I wanted to remind you guys. Do remember to jump over to the Great Bead Extravaganza page and or group. If you're watching this on one of the Bead Shop or Kate Richburg outlets, do pop over to the Great Bead Extravaganza public page or join our Facebook group, and you'll be able to see all the presentations there. Also, you guys, at the top of the group and of the page, you'll see the schedule of all the presenters. So if you haven't done so already, take a screenshot of it or print it out. If you print it out, you can highlight your time zone. Sorry, Europe. We have time zones from Hawaii to the East Coast, but you can do a little Googling there to find your time zone as well. So after me, we've got the great Jill McKay. So that's going to be fun to see what Jill's got up her sleeve. But for now, let's chat all things bead shop, shall we? As I said, I'm Kate Richburg, and some of you are new. Some of you, I'm seeing all of these names. There they are. All of these names jump on. A lot of people that I know, a lot of new people. It's great to see all of you all here. Let me start off with a couple of info, a little bit of housekeeping here. You can find all things beadshop.com. You can find us over on our Instagram. If you follow our Insta over at beadshop.com, give us a follow or a tag when you do post, if you make anything with any of our beads or any of our projects, and we'll be happy to add you to our stories. Our Instagram stories are always great, so we have a lot of inspiration over there. We'd love it for you to join our group, the Bead Table. We've got a lot of great community over there. Our community is over 7,000 beaders strong, and we'd love for you to join us. And of course, our YouTube channel. We're so close to 100,000 followers and subscribers. And I know it's not about the numbers, it's about the content, but I want you guys to know that there's some great content over there. I've been live streaming now on our Bead Shop YouTube platform. We're finishing our 6th year and starting our 7th year over there. So there is just a ton of learning over there for you. And then for me personally, you can find me at BeadKate on Instagram. I'd love to have you follow me there. You'll see all of my adventures in metalworking and all of my other omnicrafter things that I do, like sewing and knitting and I don't know, bear restoration. You guys have been following that story on my social. I'm going to post the story over on my Insta. You can subscribe to my personal YouTube channel with all my metalsmithing content on it. And I do have a group and a page over on Facebook. I'd love to have you there. And of course, you can find me at katerichburg.com. And let me actually get this banner out of the way for a second. katerichburgjewelry.com. Let me go back here and get my hang on here a second. There we go. We're back with Bead Shop, and let me get that banner back up. You guys can see through what I've done here for the banner for beadshop.com. You can enter code FALLFEST20 and you can save 20% store-wide right on beadshop.com. That discount is good through Sunday night at midnight Pacific time. So it's good on the kits. I'm going to share with you the kit that I've got here. Our blue kit, we've got two colorways. One is called Endless Sky, one's called Terra Firma. Endless Sky sold out. So you guys love the blue, but we still have a few of these brown ones left for you, kind of a great saddle colored. Let me add this to the screen so you guys can see it. There it is right here. And so I'm going to be playing with this one today as well. And I'm going to be showing you how to create this. I'm also going to be doing, you guys, a giveaway. So you can jump in, and I'm going to do it at the end, towards the end of the broadcast. So you need to hang tight. I'll give you those details. I'm going to give away two $25 gift certificates that are going to be good on beadshop.com. So, but you have to stay towards the end of the broadcast to grab those. Okay, so it's great to have so many of you guys here, new friends, old friends, just friends, right? And don't forget, you can see me every week on Wednesday and Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Pacific on our beadshop.com outlets. So let's get to the project, shall we? I'm going to take this Fall Fest, this code down, but I'll put it back up a little bit later. I don't want it to distract from what we were doing. Okay, so let's take a look here. So here are the two kits. Now, as you know, at beadshop.com, just like Candy's team or all of us, right? All of us here at who participate in the Great Bead Extravaganza. You know, some of us have a little bit larger teams than others, but we're all a team, right? And I am super lucky that beadshop.com has an amazing team. You watch me during the week, you see Janice if you've written in for customer service, and sometimes Drea is on with me as well. You see me here with Emily doing projects. We've got Claire doing our photography. We've got Chris doing our packaging. So we have a really great sound, wonderful team, and we could not do it without you guys. So we really, really appreciate it, right? So let me show you. This is a project. I'm going to get the bags out of the way so we can just look at these here. This is a project that Janice conceived of quite a few years ago. And she called it Sisterhood, this kit. And it was kind of the marriage between pearls and leather. That was our first ones that we did. And then we've done it with stones, we've done it with other things. And if you follow our social or you follow me over on Bead Shop, you know that our African trader came here to Fresno, where I am, in the beautiful Central Valley of Fresno, California. And he was here, we were shopping, and it was 110 degrees, you guys, outside when I did the shopping. But it was pretty awesome, and we had a great time. So these are the kits that resulted from it. Okay, so I'm going to show you today, we're going to do a couple of techniques, right? We're going to do this macrame, and we're going to do this silk wrapping, okay? Now, you can do either or, and I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to look at the beads. We're going to look at the leather, right? And this is I've got a couple of good questions here. So if I'm going to show this up here, what can you do if the button you choose does not fit the leather? Remind me of that. I'm going to come back to that. And there might have been another question here, but I'll find it. Okay, so When you get your kit, this one is the terra firma. This is the blue one, the earth and sky right here. I'm going to be working with the terra firma kit. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to take out the components. You've got a button, and in the blue, the beads and everything are the silver. Okay, so here is the button. We've got a button. We've got some charms that are the gold tone colorway, beautiful charms from Tiara Cast. Pardon me. And we have this fun little Hamza charm, hand charm. You've got some of the African trade beads here, some of these beautiful stripes. We've got some glass beads here, and we've got some brass beads here as well. You also get some leather. Now this is 1.5 millimeter leather, 2 yards of that, and you get a whole spool of thread. Okay, so you'll be able to have plenty of thread to do as much macrame or silk wrapping as you want. Now you can find over on our website, over at beadshop.com, if you check out our skill builders, okay, our skill builders, we have skill builders on how to do the silk wrap, how to do the macrame, all of that kind of stuff. So if you go over there and check it out, if you want to have some more in-depth learning, that'll work great for you. So let me put this stuff in here, and I'm going to start with our leather. So this technique can also work with other beads, other styles that you might have to play around with. But so you can go stash diving in your stuff, right? And see what works for you guys. Now for the button, if you have a button, you guys, and I'm looking for, if I have a sample here, I can show it to you, but let me actually show you this piece here, and then I'll show you something else. Take a look at this. This is a wrap bracelet that I did a while back. Take a look at the shank on this button. Okay, it's pretty small. Notice how, you guys, I used the macrame here, and I did like a little macrame loop. I came down, macrame, made a loop so my leather could go through it, and came back through and ended it here. So it's just like a little extra spot here, or a little extra length here that you can play with and work with. You can do that. You can also, let me show you here. If you're working on the end of a piece, you can start your button here at the end of your, you can cut your leather in two, or you can do it on this side, right? Slide everything up and just have that single strand, right, go through, of the leather. You don't have to double it through or anything. You can also, I'm trying to remember, Janice did kind of a cool thing. What she did was she did that at the end, put the button on, started it with the loop at the loop end, right? Did all that. And then she came in and she finished it, and she just put that single strand of leather through, like so. So you can kind of play around with it, right? Kind of play around with your connection. But the good thing about this one is that you've got your button here. Your button slides on like so, and we're just ready to go. All right, so let me get the camera a little bit closer here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to just come in and I'm going to attach this button at the end of my bead tray here, and I'm going to use a little clamp. Now, what I do a lot of times is I just have a little bit of twine here, and I'm going to put the button around it, in it, and I'm going to clip my twine just like that. Okay, so I'm ready to go here. Then, let me lift this up so you can see. Again, this is the Terra Firma, the brown kit. And this brown, kind of this saddle brown color, kind of a neutrals, earth tones, is a great one for, if you want to mix in some of your own beads, right? And we do have kind of a nice tribal and trade section over on beadshop.com. But you can, and you can find things that you may want to add to it as well. These particular beads we don't have in. We do have some striped gooseberry beads that you'll find. You'll also find some, older trade beads, some things. I've got other things that are going to be launching soon. So don't forget to follow us, grab our newsletter so you'll see those items. Come in the newsletter, you'll be alerted by the newsletter when we get them in. So I've cut a length of thread, and maybe this is about a yard. I don't know. And this is actually Eslon that you're going to get. So we use a lot of Ceylon here at Bead Shop, but this is kind of equal to the regular Ceylon. But in the kits, I've put Eslon in here for you. Okay. So I'm going to start finding the middle of the thread. Let me get down a little bit closer so you can see here. And I'm just going to make my first macrame stitch. So I'm going to start, my thread is underneath, I'm coming around to my left. On my right, I bring the strand over, under the leather, and up through the loop. And that's my half hitch. That's half of my knot. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Going to the right, making that loop, coming over the left hand cord, under the leather, and up and out through that loop there. Okay, now I'm going to repeat it. And I'm going to go to the left and under and tighten, and to the right. And we call this our flat macrame stitch. Again, you can find this on Bead Shop under our skill builders. And just macrame, maybe you want to macrame a little or a lot, whatever. Mostly you want to clear that button. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. And that looks about right to me. So now I need to remove this extra thread here. Okay, and the difference, it's a great question. What's the difference between Eslon and Ceylon, right? The difference is there's not a lot of difference. It's almost the exact same thread, but it's manufactured and sold by two different companies, one Ceylon, one Eslon. Okay, so I'm going to come in, yeah, and the result you get from doing these half hitches are just square knots. That's exactly right. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to use this GS Hypo cement. You can see the tip of my cement is kind of messy. Let me see if I can get that off of there. This extra glue. There we are. So now I'm going to come in and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue there. And I'm going to let that sit for a moment. Then I'm going to come in with my thread burner and we're going to burn those tips away. But for now, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to string some beads. Now, when you get your beads, what you can do is you can figure out, like, I don't know how many beads you want for each segment. This bracelet here, my wrist is about 6.5 inches. So this wraps for me about 3 times. And notice how I've made the bunches of beads here kind of short. So these run, I don't know, about 1.75 inches maybe here. Okay. So you could make them longer if you wanted a little more flow with your beads. But this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 segments on it, right? And it wraps around 3 times. Okay, but you decide what works. You'll have extra beads and extra leather, so you can make it a little bit longer, or, you can make it a little bit shorter if your wrist is a little smaller. Okay, you could also wear this as a necklace as well, of course, right? Because it would look great as a necklace to stack. So now you're going to go ahead and angle cut your leather. And this is especially true for the blue kit. Let me see if I can grab this bead out of here. So some of the beads in the blue kit are these little silver spacers that look like this, right? And I'm going to just show you on this brown one. Some of the holes on there were a little inconsistent. So most of them fit, but they'll fit best if you angle cut. I'm trying to get that in. There we go, in focus. See how I just took my wire cutter and I gave that a nice angle. You can also give it a little more of a shallow angle like this, and that'll go right in here, and you can grab onto that cord and put these on. Okay, with the Terra Firma kit, the brown kit, the holes are all a lot larger. So I'm just going to come in, and I like to pile, right? So you can, if you know you want about 10 piles of beads, you can divide these into 10 piles. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, right? But whatever works for you. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to put on really randomly like 3, 4, 5 of these, maybe slide them up, see if I like the looks of them, and I do, right? And then here, let me angle cut this again. Add these guys on here, maybe this one here, this one here. And I usually am just doing, you could do 2 or 1 of these kind of striped beads, whatever works for you. I'm going to put these 3 on there and maybe 1 more brass. Okay, and they don't, you don't want them, well, it doesn't really matter. Your beads don't have to be equal. Does that make sense? This is a little shorter, this is a little bit longer. So I'm going to come in here, and now I'm going to macrame this closed. Okay. First, what I'm going to do, and if you're doing this at home, I would have let this sit a little bit longer, but I'm going to come in with my thread burner. And there was a question earlier that your thread darkens. Someone said their thread really blackens when you use your thread burner. What you want to do is you want to go in and out with the thread burner. So I'm going to press the button like this, and I'm going to heat it. We carry the thread burners here at Bead Shop. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to heat it so it's warm. See how the tip is heating? And I'm just going to quickly tap it on the thread, hit the thread. Then I'm going to give it like a little tiny tap and then push that thread in. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. You want to make sure that you're using this in a well-ventilated area, because it does have a tendency to be a little smoky, right? Especially if you have some thread residue on there, but we're ready to go with that. Okay. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to macrame here. You could also, I'm going to show you this. Let me actually show you now. This is the silk wrap. So you could do either or. So I'm going to do another length of thread. I don't know, maybe this is 10-ish inches because you need less thread for your silk wrap, and you get plenty, you get a whole spool. So here we go. I'm going to hold it kind of where maybe I want my, if you want a little more space here, or you could add a few more beads here. Again, I did 10 stations, but you do whatever you want to do, right? So I'm going to come up and I'm going to come about right here. I'm going to bring my thread. What I do here is I've got about 2/3 of my thread here and about 1/3 of my thread here. I make my loop. I lay it on my leather, grab this thread, and I wrap everything, both strands of leather and that extra cord, up towards that loop. And see how I'm just making the little wraps one after the other. And just make it the length you like. Now I'm going to, with this thread, instead of wrapping it, I'm going to send it through the loop. Okay. Then on this side, I'm going to pull. See, watch how that thread now pulls my thread on the left-hand side underneath that wrap. Okay, and so I pull on both, and you can kind of feel it with your finger. You can feel that connection pop underneath that wrap. Then you can just come in and either thread burn it or clip it. I'm using these little shears to clip it, like so. Okay, so here's your first segment. And you're going to just continue on, right? That's all there is to it. You guys, you're like, wait, what? That's it. That is all she wrote, kids. It really makes an effective, nice design for sure. I'm going to go ahead and put that coupon code back up so you guys can see that. And just, put your beads on one side. I'm not even paying any attention because it doesn't matter. You're just going to stack them up, right? Stack it up like this. And then these guys here. Okay, stack them like that. And now you can silk wrap. You could even, if you wanted to, you could with no cord at all. You might need a little bit of extra cord for this. I've only given you 2 yards. You might have enough. But you could just put in some knots. That was just an overhand knot. I want this knot to be flat though. I don't want my cord to be twisted. There we are. Okay. That looks right. Right? So we've got the macrame, the silk wrap. You can also do the knot. Okay. I'm going to do one more segment and then I'm going to show you how I closed it off. And this will just be like a single, right? You don't need a ton of beads here. But I'll show you that. I like kind of simple and quick projects for the Great Bead Extravaganza because you're watching so many presentations today, right? You're just so inundated with so much information from all these great presenters, which is awesome. So I always like to keep it not simple, but teach you a few really good tricks that you can throw into your bead box and pull out when you need them. So since I started with macrame, let's finish with macrame. And I'm going to measure here just to make sure. Yeah, I'm going to macrame. I'm going to start that. I'm going to end that macrame like right. Let me put on a few more beads here, just so it's a little longer. Everything won't be precisely even, but we'll just throw that on there like that. And I'll put these two on and one of these. Okay. Sorry, I was not seeing your comments. Quick questions. These are great. Barrel knots. Barrel knots would look great on this, you bet. And you certainly could use Irish wax linen to wrap the leather. You bet, right? Those things would both work for sure. Um, you know, do your wrapping. You could even do it with some 0.5 millimeter leather if you wanted to. Let me set this back up. Now, before I wrap this last one, you guys, let me talk to you a little bit about the giveaway that we're going to do. Okay. So what I want you to do is, if you've seen our giveaways before, let me do this here. Whoops, where are my banners? You're going to comment to win a $25 gift certificate from beadshop.com. What you're going to do in the comments, you're going to put hashtag great. And with that hashtag great, you can put it in as many times as you want, but it's only going to count you once. Okay, so you'll comment to win that $25 gift certificate from beadshop.com, and I'm going to pull the names in just a few moments. Okay, let me put that All Fest thing back up, and let's go back to this while you guys comment. And let me make sure that, yeah, good. And it is, the giveaway tool is working. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to macrame. Okay, so let me go ahead, connect this down. And I need everything to be taut, so I'm going to clamp on this side. And I'll come in and begin the macrame. Okay, going to the left, under the leather, and tighten. Then to the right, make that loop, under the leather, through the loop, and tighten. I'm going to go back and forth. I don't know, whatever length works for you. Okay. There we go. Now I'll add a little bit of my glue. Here and here. And I'll let that sit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my button. Here. And I'm going to just look at like how much width I need. About that much. And I'm going to tie that overhand knot. And then you don't want to forget about your charms, you guys. And of course, I already forgot about my charm, my Hamza charm. Hamza goes this way. So I should have put Hamza here, but we'll just go ahead. I'm just going to clip these a little bit shorter to get them out of my way. Hamza should have gone, and you can put it in wherever you want, right? They don't have to go on the end, but I'll just put it in the button loop. Okay. And then I'll come back in and I'll add the charms with the jump rings. Walk that down. And again, of course, with like this long one I've made, right? You need to just keep measuring it on your wrist as you go, right? So, but this is just that single. And then you can decide, like if you want to sprinkle these charms throughout the piece, you can. So you get a nice round oval jump ring here. And we're going to open that up, slide that charm on, and then slide it over the leather wherever you like. You can also put the jump ring on beforehand and have them at the ready, so when you're stringing, you can just put them wherever you want, right? Doesn't matter. whatever works for you. I'm going to put this one over here. They don't even have to go on the same side of the leather, right? You can go back and forth from one side to the other. Then make sure and reserve a few beads for the end. I'm just going to add maybe 1, 2, 3, and maybe one of these. And sometimes if these have kind of a small hole, you got to really angle cut it. This one actually, I'm not going to play around with, but most of them should fit because I checked them. And I'm just going to tie my knot a double overhand here and tighten it up and clip away. I like to clip it just at a slight angle. And then I don't make these the same length. So I'll put this on, maybe a couple of these. And this is the 1.5 millimeter leather, you guys. So you can, but you could use 1 millimeter if you wanted. It would work out just fine. Be a little bit of a smaller, look, a little bit of a slimmer look to it, but it would look just fine. Tighten up. See how they're not quite, that's a little low, but that's all right. I'm just going to go with it. There we go. Let me thread burn. Let me get these guys neatened up. And this one neatened up. And here we have our single strand right here. I mean our single wrap, not our single strand. See that there? Easy peasy, you guys. So let's go ahead and I am going to share my screen and I'm going to share the video, the giveaway tool here. And it looks like we've got 142 entries. So I'm going to pull 2. So if we're ready, let's hit draw. And let's see who's the first winner. And what you're going to do, I'll tell you. Kim Carnes. Kim, I believe we might already have your email. But just in case, you can email us at info@beadshop.com and I will respond to that email with your $25 gift certificate. Okay, so I'm going to screenshot that real quick so I remember. And let's go ahead. We'll choose one more. Okay, I'm going to draw again. So let's see who our second winner is going to be. Let's see here. So, Vaughn Monica. Go ahead and email me at info@beadshop.com and I will send that $25 gift certificate your way. Okay, perfect. Congrats. So let me get myself here in the, let me actually remove this. Whoops. I removed the wrong one. There we are. I got it. So Vaughn, you and Kim email at info@beadshop.com. I'll get your gift certificates out to you ASAP. Do remember, my friends, that you can use the code FALLFEST for 20% off store-wide at beadshop.com today and tomorrow. It ends tomorrow night at midnight Pacific time. Remember these kits, if you just jump over to beadshop.com, you'll see the the Endless Sky kit, I'm sorry, has sold out. We have a few of the Terra Firma kit left. We also have a listing there that you can choose your own adventure and find some of your own like leather and beads and stuff like that. So it'll help you choose if you want to choose your own colors and stuff like that. Okay. So, you guys, whew, I'm signing off a little bit early, but I think we're good to go. It'll give you a little bit of time to rest and relax for a few minutes before the fantastic and wonderful Jill McKay. Let me make sure. Great, I think we've got all of those questions covered. And Jill has a question here. Um, what size pearls Janice used in her latest project? I believe it's this project that you're talking about. I think these are about I don't know, I'd say a 6 to 7 millimeter should be perfect for that. Hopefully that answers your question. Alrighty. Good thing I've got all those samples here, right here with me. Thanks again, all of you all. It's great to have you all with me here today. And don't forget, you can find everything Bead Shop related at beadshop.com on Instagram, the Bead Table on Facebook, and you can hit that like and subscribe button right at our YouTube channel. We would love to have you join us over there for all of our wonderful demos and techniques that we share with you. I'm online with you I'm trying to turn off this banner, sorry. I'm online over there with you every Wednesday and Friday at 10:30, that's it, a.m. Pacific time. And you can always watch the replays on all of our social outlets. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you guys and you all supporting not only us here at beadshop.com, but all of our amazing participants at the Great Bead Extravaganza, we could not do it without you. So we thank you very much from the bottom of our little beady hearts. All right, all. I'll see you on Wednesday on my regular broadcast, and enjoy Jill McKay, who's coming up next, and the amazing lineup we've got for the rest of the day and tomorrow. Don't forget to go over to the page, sign up for the giveaway, trade your email for a chance to win some of our wonderful swag bags. We've got a few over there. Remember, we never sell or give away your information or ask for any of your personal information. So make sure you sign up on that official link. All right, you all. Talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.